Before we start, I want to tell you about the first little accident that I had here yesterday, and it happened right here. And maybe you can imagine already what happened. So on my last wave from the outside, I came inside a bit tired, a bit dreamy, and I step, bloop, bloop, and all the way down I went. Luckily, this piece of metal kind of made the hole smaller so that I didn't go all the way through. I ended up just with a few scratches and bruises, which still hurt quite a bit, but at least there was nothing too bad. So anyway, that was a very good wake-up call, because on the boat is not like in a house. You need to be extra careful all the time. Otherwise, you may end up injured or even injure other people. And when it's on the water, it's even worse. The boat is going to be rocking, it's going to be shaking left and right. So yeah, just a very good reminder that I had yesterday before going to sleep. Welcome to day 3 of this restoration project. It is a nice sunny day today. It is still very early morning. I actually slept in the boat tonight. I couldn't wait to try it for the first time. It was alright, just a bit cold, but very comfortable. So today we're gonna try to finish up with cleaning the engine bay. Maybe try to see how we can strip some paint in it. What's the best method? Then I want to test different tools on the outside of the boat to see how we can remove the paint there. And then we're gonna continue with our project in the rear of the boat, stripping more of those panels on the walls and see if we can attempt to remove one of the windows today. Alright, see you on the inside. Alright, so here are the different tools we want to test today to remove different kinds of paints from different kinds of surfaces. At some point I'm going to try to see what I can do with a simple spatula. Then we have some grinding discs, a 60 and an 80 grit. Then we have these steel wire brushes. Then here kind of a thick cutting grinding disc. That will be the last resort. And we're going to use a simple angle grinder. Alright, so first let's have a look at what we have here. You can see there are lots and lots of layers of paint. And that's probably the reason why this burst like this. There must have been one layer amongst them that didn't connect well with another, and then when the sun hit on this dark latest paint, it made it burst from the inside. You can see there's cracks and bubbles all along. So let's see first what we can do with a simple spatula. I guess no surprise here, anywhere where the paint is already cracked, so I can get in between, it's no problem. But then as soon as the paint is a bit harder still, there's nothing you can do with the spatula. Next up, I'm gonna use this steel wire disc. Next, I'm gonna use this more funnel-shaped steel wire brush. Next, I'm going to use this thick cutting disc. Right, now we can have a look at the results. So left and right I used those steel brushes, but on areas that were already cracked. I tried it quickly in areas here where the paint was intact, and it just doesn't make any sense. It's too slow, and you're gonna break that steel brush. With the thick cutting disc, it's actually very easy to remove the paint. It's like butter. The problem with that is that disc will cut through steel just as easily as it cuts through the paint, so I would not use that to go all the way down to the steel, because I would probably damage the steel more than I would have to. In order to find out what will be the best way to continue now, I really have to get some advice from somebody who knows how to do it. Luckily, in this area there are lots of boat owners who are working on it, so whenever I have time I will try to go and find somebody who might be able to help me out with this. Now, the next thing I want to try is to see what the paint is like here on the underwater side of the boat. There seems to be some primer on it. I say that because oftentimes I see primers are this dark red, so that's my guess. You can see here that this primer has been put on in the meantime that the boat was here on this stand, but even the thing that's below doesn't look really bad. So yeah, let's see what we find. Yeah, for some reason I didn't hit the right button, so I didn't record the part when I actually grinded off the paint here. But what I did is I first used the steel wire brush, and then with that the paint went off quite quickly. And next I used a 80 grit just to see what that does, and pretty much the same with as soon as you touch it, the paint moves all the way down to the bare metal. We can see here there's the bare steel, and it appears to be a total of 3 layers. Yeah, I'm pretty happy that the paint comes off so easily, that the coat is not too thick below here, because doing all this sanding and grinding here on the bottom of the ship is not going to be easy. So the less passages I have to make, the better.